Yesterday, if you were watching the end of the show, it all got quite dramatic. With about 5 seconds before we came off air on NBC, I was told in my ear that Daniel Farke had been fired. So we didn't have time to talk about it yesterday. This is our first chance, chaps, to talk about this. I just want to put everybody in the picture. Now, on October the 28th, 10 days ago, the sporting director of Norwich City, Stuart Webber, was asked about the future of Daniel Farke, and he was absolutely unequivocal. He said, "I and the club are 100% behind him." That was 10 days ago. According to John Percy, the writer of the Daily Telegraph, the decision to fire Farke was the morning. They took it the morning of the game yesterday before he had that victory, ended the 4.5 tenure, and Stuart Webber says now he will lead the recruitment process. He also, by the way, has signed a new contract, or certainly agreed a new contract with the owners of Norwich City. Quite an interesting way for all this to end, Robbie Mustoe. Your reaction to the firing of Farke is what?
Well, I think it's two parts of it, and the first part's pretty short. It's unfortunate, the timing of it. You know, deciding the morning of the game seems a little strange to me, Rebecca. They win the game. There's a sense that he already knew that celebrations were a little bit muted, and it feels wrong to fire a manager when you've just got their first win in the Premier League for this season. That being said, it is the right call, and it's the right call because he's had his full cycle. And there's not many times, I think, that I feel like this is absolutely the right thing to do. We don't want to call for managers to be fired, but when you've had 4.5 years and you've gone through the cycle twice, and the philosophy of this club is we're never going to overspend to stay in the Premier League. We want a manager with continuity. We're going to bring players in for low values, and we're going to try and punch our weight in the Premier League. Now, it's the second time that Daniel Farke has brought Norwich back into the Premier League. Well done. I guess that's why he got a new contract in July, which now is, oops, like too early. But for the second time, Rebecca, he's not put a dent on the Premier League. He's not made an impact into the Premier League, even though he won the Championship so convincing last year with 10 points ahead of Brentford that are doing a better job right now. So if you wanted to know whether this guy can make a fist of the Premier League, part of their plan is he's got to make a better fist of it than Daniel Farke has been doing it. So I get it, I understand it's the right call, and they'll look for somebody else now to continue.
Rob?
Well, I remember we were going off air, Rebecca, and our producer's in the ear saying, "There's been a sacking," and I just heard the D, and I'm thinking, Dean Smith's gone. And then it's after we've had shots of Daniel Farke, they've won their first game at Brentford, you're thinking international break, then he can kick on. And again, he goes, and I agree with Robbie. I think he's had a good cycle. He's done a great job, 2 championship wins, but not quite up to the job. 21 games since he last won it in the Premier League before yesterday. Staying in the Premier League is everything now for football clubs, especially those who get promoted. And he's a 4th sacking this season. We only had 4 of all of last season. That's how important making sure you're in the league is. Now, the 7-0 loss to teams like Chelsea, listen, they surrendered that day and it was bad. But I think that the lack of integration of the Billy Gilmores, of the Todd Cantlaws, of the way they've played, that I just feel as though there's a better opportunity for Norwich to try and stay in this league. At this stage, everybody's almost going, well, one place is down, Norwich are gone, it's 2 others. All of a sudden, with that win and with new blood coming in, it could be that somebody could keep Norwich up, and it might be, 3 teams now all vying for those bottom 3 places.
You mentioned a couple of names there, Billy Gilmore, Todd Cantwell, they've got Teemu Pukki, Tim Krul in goal. They've got good players, but when you look at the lineup and the squad, are this team good enough to stay up, no matter who the manager is?
It's just tough to say. It's tough to say yes to that. Of the evidence we've seen so far after 10, 11 games, no. But we know the power that a manager can bring and the change that it can bring. There's 27 games left. 5 points to the guys that are outside the relegation zone. It's possible, absolutely. I just feel like they'll be careful with their appointment because they want the right guy to fit their philosophy and want to start another longer cycle.
But there will be the opinion that, actually, let's forget about the philosophy for just now. Let's get a Sam Allardyce, a Tony Pulis. Let's keep them up.
Sam Allardyce on the phone. And let me go one other at the other end of his managerial career. John Terry might be an interesting one.
John Terry to Norwich.
John Terry to Norwich.
He is definitely wanting to start his managerial career. That was a stapler, by the way, that he just used there as a phone. Interesting stuff. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.